Young lovers, Gina Allen and Brandon Day, are on a day trip from hell. Lost in a freezing mountain wilderness with no way out. The city dwellers are trapped in a nightmare they cannot escape.
We're stuck. We're completely stuck.
And just when it seems it can't get any worse, they're plunged into a tale of death and despair, which threatens to engulf them too.
If we make a mistake, probably will die.
I will. It'll be fine. He's a really nice guy. Jessica knows him too. She says he's very nice.
We met in the spring of 2006. He had seen my MySpace profile, and within a couple of weeks, went on our first date, and we immediately hit it off. We were almost inseparable at that point. A few days later, he asked me to go with him to California.
Tasha, I'm in Palm Springs. Oh, I know, the hotel is amazing. I know, I can't believe I'm here either. Oh, he is totally gorgeous, and he's been such a gentleman. No, if he was gonna abduct me, he wouldn't do it at a business conference, would he?
I had qualified to go to a national sales convention. I'm a financial advisor. I was allowed to bring a guest with me and thought it'd be a really good time, and invited her out with me.
Hey, hard day at the office?
Oh, so hard. I have no idea.
I just looked at it as, hey, look, how would you like to go on an all-expenses-paid vacation to a resort? How bad could that be?
At the end of the convention, Brandon and Gina head out on a day trip to a nearby beauty spot. Intending to be back well before nightfall, the couple dress light.
I'm gonna leave my purse here so maybe you could take these for me.
His pockets full, Brandon leaves his mobile behind.
We didn't think anything of it. We were only going to be gone a couple hours, or I guess so we thought.
At 10,834 feet above sea level, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest mountain in Southern California.
And as we're going up, she mentions, there's this is mountain lion territory. There's also a lot of rattlesnakes in this area.
But as long as you stay on the trails, you should be okay.
Among the most rugged wilderness regions in the US, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest peak in Southern California. With no access road, the only way up or down is by cable car. And while temperatures can hit the 80s and 90s on the desert floor during May, the summit is still dusted with snow.
Somebody mentioned it's going to get cold because you're going up 8,500 odd feet and there's going to be a wind. So you might want to grab a sweatshirt or a jacket, something like that to have with you. So we got up to the top, about to head out for our walk. It was totally perfect. And I guess you just think, you don't have a care in the world at that point. We're the typical young couple in love. Wow. Seeing the snow, I decided, sneaking behind him, that I would mess with him.
Brandon.
What?
I just kind of turned to him and just nailed him right in the head with the snowball, and that point, it was on. It was just so fun, just throwing snowballs at each other in May.
Wait, stop. Listen,
What? What is it?
you hear that? Sounds like a waterfall. Don't get me mad.
So we headed off to go find this waterfall.
I can hear it. Can you see it yet?
Not yet.
Unused to this kind of environment, the city dwellers from Dallas, Texas, don't realize that the mountain is playing acoustic tricks on them. While the sound of the waterfall seems nearby, it is actually rebounding off the hard rock walls and echoing around the mountain.
It didn't sound far, but I guess, you know, the sounds play with you, play with your mind, and play with your head.
Gotta be here somewhere.
Are we there yet? I mean, this is getting to be like a real hike.
A little further, Gina. Should be really cool.
We eventually did find the waterfall, which was not impressive.
Wow. It's not exactly Niagara Falls, is it?
Ow.
Did you get one?
Oh, maybe you don't want to see this one.
See? Let me see it. See?
We took some pictures, which didn't turn out very well at all, and then decided to turn back.
Time should be getting back. Come on. Yeah, we should.
Gina and Brandon have 20 minutes to meet their tour party at the cable car station. But going back the way they came is not easy.
It seemed so simple when we walked off the path to get to the waterfall. It felt like all we did was around two boulders, behind a tree, and over the top of another boulder, and there it was. So we kind of, you know, retraced our steps, and it was seeming to take much longer.
Hey, can you hear that?
This way. Can't be far.
We could hear voices, but we couldn't really match up with them.
It's now less than 10 minutes before the tour party leaves. Brandon and Gina can hear the other tourists, but they cannot find them.
This way.
We couldn't get to them. They seemed to be just right there, and we lost voices. We couldn't hear anyone else talking. And at that point, you kind of, okay, something might not be right here.
Meanwhile, the rest of the tour party has descended without Brandon and Gina and will soon return to the hotel.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Brandon and Gina now realize they've not only missed their rendezvous, they've lost their way back to the station. It's beginning to be a true test of their fledgling relationship.
You've got no idea where we are, have you?
Not exactly. But at least I'm looking for a way out.
He goes, you can sit there if you want to, but I'm gonna keep on moving. I think he wanted to be the big, strong, tough guy that's not scared in front of me.
At that point, it was probably important that I sent a little message of, okay, we can't panic. We have to stay focused on the task at hand.
Despite Brandon's determination to find the mountain station, the dense pine forests and steep rock faces block their path. They're tantalizingly close to the station, but they just can't see it.
I think we're close. We just need to go a little bit further this direction or this direction. We'll see something we recognize and we'll be fine. That went on for a while, and then I realized that no, I do think we're lost. And so at that point, we decided, okay, we have to start yelling for help.
Hey! Is anybody there? Hello?
We're too short. Must have taken a taxi back. Okay, let's go.
We've now passed the rendezvous time. Now we have a real problem. Okay, before it was something that was very manageable. Now it's sinking in. I think we have an issue.
As night falls, Gina and Brandon are lost in one of the most desolate and unforgiving parts of the Southern Californian wilderness. But even worse, no one knows they're missing. The most immediate danger for Brandon and Gina is hypothermia. Lightly dressed, they're at the mercy of the plunging mountain temperatures, which can drop well below zero at night. They must retain body heat, or frostbite, exposure, and eventual death may follow.
All we had was wind pants and windbreakers on, not any type of gear or something to prepare for this type of weather, or food or water or anything, because we originally had only intended to walk maybe a few hundred yards to take a picture and then head back to a mountain station. So we weren't hikers, we were tourists.
Brandon, I'm so cold.
It's okay, Gina, it's okay.
I really felt responsible. It's one thing to put yourself in a bad situation, but to put somebody else in a bad situation is tough to stomach. And so, at one point, Gina started to cry. She was very scared. And, I started to just apologize. I'm so sorry for putting you in this situation. And she stopped me right there.
And I said, no, we're okay. We're in this together. We both took the wrong steps. We're both following each other here. We're okay. We're in this together. So I think at that point, he accepted that I was not blaming him by any means, that I was right there with him, that we were gonna get through this together.
You can't stay here. You'll freeze to death. I've got your room.
Where?
We passed a cave a little way back. It's better than being out here in the open. Come on. Come on.
Stumbling their way through the darkness, Gina and Brandon are aware of another very real mountain danger.
We had been warned that there's mountain lions and rattlesnakes in these mountains. We weren't really looking to see any wildlife. We were hoping we didn't see any wildlife at that point.
There it is.
Wait, don't go in there.
Why not?
I don't know, anything could be in there.
I can't see a thing.
I don't know if it was just a gut reaction or just instinct or how he knew to do it. He took my camera, which I thought was genius. I don't know how he thought of it.
Give me your camera.
Camera?
It's got a flash, doesn't it?
Turn on there. I see.
It's clear. There's nothing in there.
Although no longer out in the open, Brandon and Gina are still at the mercy of Mount San Jacinto's bitter chill.
Well, that night, it really got to a level of cold that I've never experienced before. I'm looking at my watch, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking, okay, we have 7 more hours of this? You know, and we're already freezing, shivering, and how much longer can we endure this?
Brandon and Gina survive a long, cold night in their makeshift shelter. Exhausted, they've had nothing to eat or drink in the last 24 hours. Even so, Gina's mind is on more everyday anxieties.
This was by far the most awkward date I had ever been on in my life. Here I am with this guy I barely know, and I'm stuck. Now he's going to, smell my morning breath, and he's gonna see me without my makeup on, and I have dirty hair. And it's all those classic girl things you think of when you're in a new relationship.
Brandon's thoughts are on more practical matters.
In my mind, I'm going through a checklist, okay? There's a series of fail-safes. First off, the tour bus had a head count and a list of names, so they would have known we didn't make it back on the bus. Secondly, at dinner that night, some people from my firm would have noticed we're not there.
Unfortunately, the fail-safes have not triggered a search. With the convention winding down, Brandon's work colleagues have not noticed their absence. Brandon and Gina are not expected home for another 2 days, so their families have no idea they're missing. Brandon and Gina climb further up the mountain, thinking they need to go higher to reach the cable car station. They're in for a shock.
Oh my God.
There's no sign of the station. Gina and Brandon now realize they've crossed to a different ridge of the mountain.
Hey, look. Look at that tree.
There are a lot of trees.
No, that was that dead one we passed on the way up from the cable car.
We climbed a hell of a long way up.
Yeah, we did.
They now know they're more lost than they thought. And facing another freezing night at this altitude could kill them. The young couple need a plan.
See that creek? That creek running there?
And that heads down towards Palm Springs.
Yeah.
We made the decision that we're gonna try and walk our way out of here. We're going to try and follow the mountain river, and it has to lead out somewhere.
Let's go.
What Gina and Brandon don't realize is that between them and the river is some of the most treacherous terrain the mountain has to offer.
So we kind of look at each other and say, all right, well, we have nowhere to go but down. And it's steep. It's very steep at that point. We slid on our butts, I guess, with one leg straight out in front of us, the other leg bent up. And we moved. Definitely shook loose some of the rocks around us, which got a little frightening.
Boulder, about the half the size of a suitcase, goes tumbling all the way down, and then you hear that just hit the bottom of this rock face. If we make a mistake, we're either dead or we're hurt to the point to where we probably will die. Gina, as she was trying to slide down, had kicked a rock or some rocks.
Brandon, watch out!
And here it's coming straight for me, straight for my head.
Brandon! No. Where are you?
This thing probably missed me by about a foot and a half.
I'm okay.
That was really, really close.
Oh my God.
The mountain is too steep and treacherous to climb back up. Brandon and Gina are now committed to sliding down the rest of the rock face, despite the danger.
No, 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 no.
Takes us the better part of a day, and around 4 or 5 o'clock, we finally make it to the bottom.
It's the first water Brandon and Gina have drunk for over 24 hours. Water could prolong their survival, but with no source of food, their health is already deteriorating, and their judgment too. They think that following the river will lead them to safety. They have no idea what lies ahead in this hostile wilderness.
The stream we were following would get really narrow to the point where you could almost jump across it, to really wide to the point where we had to look for like 4 and 5 rocks to hop across. And you essentially kind of play leapfrog, trying to just hop on rocks to get your way over. You know, the last thing you want is wet feet.
Under normal circumstances, getting wet would be an inconvenience. But with night approaching in the cold mountain environment, it could spell disaster for Brandon and Gina.
And we get to a point where I'm leading, and I'm going down like a downed log. And I guess it's something that I learned through my years of cheerleading, is that you think light. You train your body to think light. I made it down safely, but he's 60 pounds heavier, might not support him the way it supported me.
Instantly, I'm soaked from the thighs down.
In wet clothes, Brandon is now at real risk of hypothermia. With no cave to shelter in, the couple need to think fast to prevent the creeping cold of night from freezing Brandon to death.
I'm gonna get these shoes off.
So at that point, I guess my nurturing instinct kind of kicked in, I guess, to take care of him.
Then we huddled up again to keep us warm, and she sat on my feet throughout the night, trying to help keep them warm, because I was shivering pretty good throughout the night. The sun comes up Monday morning. I wait a little bit longer because my shoes and my socks are still pretty wet, so try and let the sun hopefully dry those out for another hour or so.
After 2 nights stranded in a savage mountain wilderness, with no food or way out, all Brandon and Gina have left is a determination to keep going.
We're not gonna die here. And also, we just really didn't want to sleep another night out in the freezing cold. We wanted to get ourselves out of there. Now at this point on Monday, we haven't seen or heard anything or anyone. So we have no evidence, no reason to believe a search has started. At that point, it seems surreal that we haven't heard anything, but that's the situation we're faced with. And I think we had come to accept that for whatever reason, that a search wasn't coming, or at the very least wasn't started.
What'd you say?
And I was just praying is all.
You don't think we're gonna get out of this on our own?
Yeah, I do. Just gives me hope, that's all.
But Gina's prayers are going unanswered. Their hotel computerized booking system has automatically checked them out. But the rooms have not been made up, so no one knows they're lost in the mountains, fighting for survival.
And we really just have to be careful as we make our way, we don't get ourselves into a situation where we can get bitten or fall and get hurt or anything that's going to get us stranded.
With little sleep, nothing to eat, and no sign of rescue, they'd been driven on by grit and sheer determination. Then suddenly, signs of life appear in the distance.
Well, first, I'm making sure I'm not hallucinating. We haven't eaten, we haven't slept. At this point, I'm sure that my judgment is starting to not be as sharp as it once was.
You see that?
What?
That.
Oh my God. Hey! Hey!
All of a sudden, you just get this feeling of, oh, I think we made it.
Is anyone in there?
No.
Brandon and Gina realize this is not your average campsite.
We definitely know right off the bat that something's wrong.
Stuff had been buried a little bit by dirt. And at this point, we're realizing this is not a good situation. We don't hear anybody, we don't see anybody. It's just a very ominous feeling.
Hey! Hey, Brandon! Look. Look at this.
So we start going through the bag, the contents of the bag. We're discovering these maps. We had no idea really what we were looking at, but just that there were some sort of maps. And there was obvious writing in the white space.
Brandon, look. This is today. This is May 8th. Someone's here. We're gonna be okay.
No, Gina. This diary's a year out of date. It's May 8th, 2005.
It was just a blow. That, for one, how have we found this exactly 1 year ago to the day? And in seeing everything that he had, he was obviously prepared for something. He was an experienced climber, experienced hiker. That this campsite's abandoned, you don't know what the hell is going on.
May 8th, 2005. Took a fall. Too weak to climb out a canyon. Down is Gorge. No way out. Gorge? What Gorge? Wait, listen, here's another one. Listen. May 11th. I'm 60 today. Down to last 2 crackers. God, this is... Here, May 14th. Heading down to Creek for water. Goodbye and love you all.
I'm looking through the bag and I come across all of his identification. I see his name is John Joseph Donovan, and he's in his 60s, from Virginia. And I come across his driver's license, his credit cards, his debit cards, his everything.
Gina, these are someone's last words. Gina, we've just read someone's last words.
That was exactly a year ago to the day that we found this campsite of somebody saying goodbye to the world. And now here we are in the same place exactly a year ago to the day. And to go from such a high to such a low in such a short amount of time was just something that shakes you. This doesn't happen. This is stuff that people make up, and put into a movie.
In digging through all of his cards, I see the prayer card that has the St. Christopher prayer. And that's when just too many loose ends were tied at that point, that St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. And I had been praying to St. Christopher my whole way along. His penmanship was very much like my father's, and my dad's birthday was May 7th. And it's just all kind of coming to a head. At that point, I can't take it. It's too much. And Brandon is continuing to read, and I'm starting to freak out. At that point, I took his bag and I gathered up everything I could. I gathered up his glasses, his shoes, his jacket, because in my mind, that's somebody's dad. And somebody's dad didn't come home. And it was just important to me that any of his family have his things. I can't think of anything but getting the hell out of there.
Gina, wait! Gina, wait, stop! Gina!
It's just a mess. We're losing all sense of cool, which we'd maintained our composure the entire way, and that was a breaking point.
Gina!
And, Brandon came up and grabbed me and just kind of said, breathe. Just breathe and settle. We have to settle. And, just that look in his eye, I knew that he was afraid for me. And we kind of just took a moment to maybe try to gather ourselves a little bit. And all you can hear is this rush of water.
For Gina and Brandon, the horror story they find themselves in is unrelenting.
What is it?
What?
What's it?
Again, the water gets us every time.
That's a waterfall.
Come on.
And so we get closer. We make our way back around some big trees that were close to the water, make our way around. And that's where we see the gorge that John had talked about. And we're stuck. We're completely stuck. He had the maps, he had the compass, he had everything, and he couldn't get out. So how the hell are we? Clearly, looking back upstream, what we had just come down, there's no way we can get back up it. We had jumped down so many boulders and trees that there's no way we can climb back up. To our left was straight, sheer rock walls, and to our right, it was a bowl. It made a big, giant bowl. To know that something so beautiful was so dangerous, it's just so hard to put into words. That feeling of seeing all this tremendous beauty and I'm stuck.
We see what he'd written about. There's about 140, 150 foot waterfall and no way to get around it. We're at an impasse. Now what? We can't, at this point, it's sinking in, we can't walk our way out.
They thought that following the river would be their escape route. Instead, it's led them into a trap. Now, after 2 days struggling against fear, they're losing the battle.
And at that point, we knew we were not getting out. There's no way. There's no way we can get out. This man was prepared. He had everything he needed. We were not prepared for anything. We just had on our running shoes. We had chapstick, a digital camera, sunscreen, and running shoes. And this man was prepared and he couldn't get out. It's very defeating, very defeating.
But the missing hiker, John Donovan, has left Brandon and Gina a lifeline.
Yes, matches. Think they still work?
I don't know how we missed it. That throughout all of his things, bag inside a bag, inside a bag, inside a bag, he had another little bag of wouldn't strike anywhere matches that were still dry. By some miracle, they were still dry. And we decided, okay, let's start making fire.
What's that noise?
Bar?
No, that.
What?
It's a helicopter.
It's the waterfall. No, it's the waterfall.
It's a helicopter. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Woo! Hey! Right here! Hey!
The young couple have no idea whether the helicopter was ferrying tourists or looking for them. Whatever the case, Brandon and Gina may have just missed their only chance of being rescued.
That night, we were alone. It was the one night that we weren't side by side. We slept a good, well, I say slept, but we rested a good 10 to 15 feet away from each other. He did his thing and I did mine. You would think at that point you need each other even more so than you ever would. But we didn't, and I don't understand that. At that point is when I started to really lose my faith. I lost hope, and I lost faith that we really were gonna get out. At that point, I started letting go, just resigning all hope and accepting it and realizing that it's okay. But I'd spoken to my mom, I had spoken to my sister, I had spoken to my best friend, and I knew it was okay. I had spoken to everyone that I love in the last few days, and it's okay. It's okay that I don't come home.
Tuesday morning, we felt by far the worst we had felt since we'd been out there. And just standing up from a crouched position was difficult.
Over 4 days, the young couple's physical resilience has driven them on, but not any longer.
Just the constant nights of not getting any real sleep, of shivering, the days of climbing and getting cut and scraped and bruised, trying to make our way down this mountain, being dehydrated, not having any food. I think it had all finally really hit our bodies.
Although they now have a means to collect water, starvation is having a dramatic effect on their health.
Our bodies are starting to tell us that they don't have much more. We had turned some type of a physical corner, and it was downhill.
Exactly what happened to John has been a mystery, until now.
When I was gathering water from this pool, I did notice something out of the ordinary, something that didn't seem right. I think really maybe part of me knew what it was, but the other part of me didn't want to know, at least not at that point in time.
For Brandon, the discovery of John Donovan's body is the last straw.
That's when I made the decision, I'm gonna light the whole place on fire, the whole damn place. And they have to see the smoke from that. We only have so many matches. We don't know how many times, if any, that we'll see another helicopter. So this was our last bullet. This was our last shot.
Come on, come on. Yes. Come on, come on. Yes.
And it took much faster than I anticipated. Made sure the fire caught, and within 60 seconds, it's a large fire and getting larger.
No.
Brandon? Brandon?
To see the fire and the smoke and not see him, I'm losing it again. I'm like running around on this little rock trying to get every vantage point I can see to see if I can find him anywhere in there. And finally, I see his little head moving through the mess, and the flames are getting bigger. And I'm just, hurry up, get up here, get to me.
Brandon, hurry! Faster! Run! Brandon, come on! Brandon! Brandon, hurry! Hurry!
I'm okay.
Just, come on. How do you not see this? Again, not a cloud in the sky, crystal blue skies, just amazing, beautiful. And all you can see are these huge plumes of just black smoke.
It burned for about 45 minutes or so, produced a great deal of smoke. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. And the thought was, I mean, they have to see this. I mean, if they don't see this, what next? We just kept on putting our hope in this. This is our last shot. And we watched the fire begin to smolder, and eventually wasn't putting out nearly the same smoke. It basically burnt itself out. And now about an hour's gone by, and we still don't hear anything. We don't see anything. And so the thought starts to creep in both of our minds of, that was our best shot. What are we gonna do next? I'd always tried to be positive that we were gonna find a way out. There's gonna be a search for us. There's gonna be something. We just have to keep, ourselves safe, and we're gonna be okay. But now here we are, in a spot where we know somebody's died. And what are we gonna do? A lot of things run through your mind when you're really faced with, okay, this could be it. And it was the most beautiful sound we'd ever heard, because coming up from the valley floor is that sound of a helicopter. think we both would have cried if we had tears, but we're both so dehydrated. We didn't have enough moisture in our body to come up with tears. But, you know, the pure joy of knowing you're gonna make it out.
We're hugging and we're kissing, and it's just, we know we're going home. It's just such a feeling of just pure joy that I don't even know how to formulate the words. I don't know what to even say. It's a pretty amazing feeling. And if we hadn't had that bag, there would have been no way out. And to know we're really going home after 4 days. I remember turning to him and saying, I said, you saved my life. Because he lit that fire. And if he hadn't lit it, I don't know. I hate to even think. I don't let myself think. I don't go there.
We're just so thankful to John Donovan for you know, his sacrifice. And you know, his last action, even not being on this earth anymore, was helping 2 people. So, certain people just have a way of leaving their mark.
John Donovan's remains were recovered 3 weeks later. The Navy veteran was buried with full military honors. Gina and Brandon stayed together for 2 years after the ordeal, and then separated.